Guys, welcome.
This is actually a beautiful view that we're looking
Welcome
at.
to the Valleycast. They don't get to see it.
They get a little on his feet, which are going to end up on the internet anyway.
You're getting the reflection of our view coming into our eyeballs.
Oh.
If there's like, do we have 4K? Do we have 4K? We have 240.
It's supposedly 4K.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And who else do we have? We have...
It's 3.5K is what we have.
We have
guest.
We have the beautiful...
I'll introduce myself.
We have the beautiful...
Hi, it's Mikey Buckley.
Mike Buckley is
Mike Buckley, all the way from 8th grade.
I think Mike Buckley is a straight guy.
Mike Buckley is definitely a straight guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have high school quarterback screwing the prom queen, Mike
Buckley.
Thank you.
Mike Buck.
Yes.
We have Michael Buckley on,
Thank
and
you,
I am
May.
actually very excited.
I'm more excited.
I'm so excited.
Thanks for having
you. No,
me.
thank you for
No
being
one's
in this
more excited than
hotel
you, Lee.
room.
I don't think
That is actually true. Steve's just in his head trying to figure out the levels of all this.
Yeah, no,
because we're going rogue on this.
Well, Michael Buckley, you are a close personal friend.
Thank you.
We love you very much. You're very loved.
You are very
But you've also been a member of the YouTube digital community for quite some time. Like this old man.
2006?
Yeah, I think May 1st, 2006 was the day I created my account.
Oh, wow.
May 1st, 2006. Yeah.
go
So
way
you
back.
just celebrated
Dude,
your 13-year
I got married
anniversary.
June 24th, 2006.
I mean, it
2006.
was a good time. It was
Yeah.
so exciting.
What a year.
It's so funny though because the concept, like when you go to events like this and people talk about the good old days, I'm like, the good old days are now, man.
Yeah.
Like it's so
It's
silly.
true.
Like imagine if you just thought like, oh, I peaked in high school or you two peaked in 2007. Well, then let's all just go home. Like, why are we
laser
here?
tag? Yeah.
Like this is the good old days. We could all get hit by a bus tomorrow and sitting here with you right now doing this podcast. Like this is it. Like,
Yeah,
This is awesome.
Yeah,
This is
we're having a damn good time
We are
out
having
here
a damn
in
good time.
Indian Wells.
Indian Wells, not to be
Wells.
confused with Palm Springs,
Not
to-
which is 30 minutes away, which is where the homosexuals are.
We are
So my
Palm
grinder is slim picking. My grinder is slim
What
picking in
is
Indian
your
Wells.
grinder? What
We are
is it
Palm
showing
Springs
up?
adjacent right now.
We
just
are
so
adjacent.
everybody knows.
We are adjacent. Yeah, I would
Adjacent.
imagine that Indian
Jason
Wells
Reitman.
is a dry well.
Adjacent Reitman.
Right.
It's like when you say VidCon's in LA and you're over at Anaheim. You're like, this is great.
right.
I'm in Anaheim.
No one wants to go to Anaheim. The only people that want to go to Anaheim are Disney fans and people on welfare checks.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Thanks, Hank and
This
John. We
guy,
have fun. Thanks.
I
We love
know.
it. We love it.
No,
we love
I
it.
love it. I actually kind of prefer this, to be honest, because I love Palm Springs, but it's madness. It is pure. Well, on the weekends it's madness, but it's one of those.
Why
things-
is it madness?
Well, it's just like a party. It's a
'It's a
24/7
party,
I remember
okay,
going to an
okay.
Airbnb there and being like, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna write and I'm gonna like do stuff, and then it literally was like
You didn't write. No way.
all weekend.
Well-
and I was like, I guess I'm gonna go
Mike-
drink whatever this
Mike
is.
Buck was just telling us that.
Mike
like,
Buck.
Michael, do not.
It's
do that
getting
to him.
shorter.
Mike Buck. Emmy Buck.
We're gonna
was
call you
telling
Muck
us-
by the end of the show.
What's today? Today's a Tuesday. Today's a Tuesday.
Today's a Tuesday.
And we were talking earlier, and I was like, "What's it like over in Palm Springs on a Tuesday?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's good." Who would knock on your door right now?
Do we have a special guest?
There's no
have a
way.
What if it
I'm
was
so
a
excited.
What if it was a concierge and they're like,
Who would it be?
Excuse
What if I sent a booty call from Grindr to the room?
Oh my God!
Is it?
Just in time.
Elliot Morgan, everybody.
Will you pull up this bench?
Oh, I'm so happy.
No,
to
Elliot,
meet
Elliot,
you.
Elliot, sit
Oh
right
my
here,
God.
and we can share mics. We can share mics.
What an
Oh
entrance.
my God!
What
What
an
an entrance.
Elliot,
What an
I don't know.
No, actually, you
Wow,
should sit.
we
You're
were not
standing in front of
expecting
the-
you.
The
No.
camera.
You're
We
gonna
weren't
sit.
expecting
Yeah,
you.
sit right here, baby.
Have a
Sit
seat
here.
right here
I
with
love that
us.
Morgan,
everyone
everybody.
has tropical.
Elliot, have a
vibes.
seat,
Thank you
please.
for having me.
Elliot, we didn't think you were going to be here, and I'm happier than I want to admit.
Oh, thanks, man.
That you are.
I'm happy to be here.
This is going to be a fun time.
I'm gonna as soon as I love being here. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, we were just talking about how Michael Buckley and Joe Beretta
Mike
are
Buck.
old boys in the YouTube world.
Very old.
We just started. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of just started, but this is kind of like an off the cuff kind of unorthodox episode of the Valleycast because we're recording it
In a hotel room.
ClamorCon in a hotel in Indian Wells. Now, what the hell? Is Indian Wells even politically correct? Should it be changed to Native American Wells?
I mean, in 2019, everything should be Native American Wells.
Yeah,
I think the name of the show should be Native American Wells. I'm offended by your Valley forgery or whatever you are.
Dude, Valley
Are you
Forge.
also wearing Toms?
Look at this Palm
the first
Springs
thing
man.
when you walked in,
Whoa.
besides your beautiful face, I noticed
you,
was your
Becca.
Toms. I wear
Thank you.
Toms, not
Look at you
sponsored all
guys.
the time.
One of the first memories I have of you is it was at Playlist in Orlando.
Yeah, in Orlando,
I think
yeah.
You were
Orlando.
there.
Yeah.
We weren't at SourceFed together, so it was post.
Oh, it was post-Source.
Valleyfolk.
Yeah.
You were still at SourceFed, I think, but we were in
Yeah.
Orlando. You were in a hotel room, and one of the nicest things. You did this like thing where you're like, we're playing a game where we all get to know each other, and you did
Oh,
this,
you
it was a
dude.
book where you would ask people super like icebreaker questions.
What
my
made
God,
you
I
think of
4,000
No.
questions to get to know anyone.
What made you think of
I
that?
need to.
Yes.
This is amazing. I
So
want
we did
it.
about
I'm gonna get
3,500
it.
or so.
What made you think of it?
What made me think of what?
That
Reading
book.
that
I
book.
just thought, I hate small talk. I
Me
really. How are you?
too.
Oh,
What's
I
new?
hate
What have
it.
you been up
Weather,
to? Where'd
who
you
are
get that?
you? What do you do for a
I-
living? It's
so
a
I go
nightmare.
right in. Like,
And
what's your
there's-
favorite thing about your life? What's your least favorite thing about your life? What are you most
Give me the
looking for?
goods.
I hate small
There's
talk.
nothing
so.
worse than YouTube small talk. Too.
Oh,
God, kill
yeah.
me.
Tell me
Yeah.
about
What about
goals.
family vlogger small talk?
Oh my!
What is that
Literal
even?
small talk.
The moment I entered this place, I texted Grace and I was like, "Well, I'm good on kids. I don't want kids. I agree with you. I'm sorry,
Dude, it is
I
the best-
pressured you, and
You guys
were
say
right
that.
all
I've had
along.
4 since I've been here.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
They've just been
Oh,
falling
God,
out.
wow.
They've-
Go
yeah.
get an
They were
animal.
all
I tried to get
water
off
birth.
the elevator and 3 stepped on before I got off rules. And I
Yeah.
looked at their parent and I said, I can't wait to have none.
One day.
I can't wait to have
One day
none.
I'll be as happy as I am now.
I think I read a thing online that was like, I can't wait to make enough money to have a yard big enough for my dog.
That's what I say all the
That's the
time.
bit-
I'm
that's
always
just
like,
all
oh
it
God,
is,
what
yeah.
I just want
And
a
these
yard
people
for my
here
dog.
don't have 1 to 2 kids. They've got
No.
7 kids.
Yeah, we
Dude,
saw
they've got lots of kids.
quadruplets. We saw
Quadruplets.
quadruplets
Dude,
today.
Have you seen the
Diamond,
quadruplets?
you-
I not yet.
Oh,
but
man.
Yeah.
I miss you. Ed.
You feel them first before you
Yeah.
see them.
So I'm gonna see them tomorrow. I'll be like, I felt you, and now I'm in jail.
Okay, cool. Hey, everybody, am
Wow.
I shorting out? Am I
Yeah,
good?
yeah. We're good. We're
Am I
good.
Okay, hey, welcome to the Valleycast. We all bring
Wow, we
topics
did it.
to the
We said
table.
it.
This
We're
is
at
gonna be good.
ClamorCon
I'm
2019.
We're at ClamorCon 2019. Michael Buckley
my hotel
owns
room.
it, or he's part of it.
Part of it.
He's part of the ClamorCon. It's great, and so I'm gonna.
Michael Buckley owns this resort.
I'm gonna say
this
he owns
room.
Indian Wells.
I do.
Yeah.
We are going
I
to
do.
segue into topics because I want to bring something to the table right now.
Let's hear
that I
it.
walked into the room and I was very upset.
You were
about.
very upset.
was very
Joe
upset
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
Joe's been waiting to tell us something, and so here we go. Story
I
time.
do love this
So,
journey.
Uh,
These
we all just had a really fun.
Michael Buckley, in case you ever were wondering who we are as people.
I have a clear idea now.
Yeah.
So
It all
much.
makes sense.
You
Thank you
already
so
knew.
much.
Yeah.
Knew.
So
No.
we were all having a good time in the pool.
Yeah.
I'm the father of the group. I have 2 people that I made with my testicles, and they are the light of my
Your
life.
wife also made
And
it with her
It's
womb,
weird. It
but
didn't
it's
involve his
fine.
penis at all. It
Yeah.
was
No,
just,
just the
his
testicles.
Such a
And,
man.
um,
All
Such a
me.
man.
Anyways, it was great. We had a great
Hashtag
time.
time's up. Joe
Yeah.
Beretta.
We had a great time. And I'm telling
What
you,
he did was he squeezed his testicles inside the vagina.
Okay, stop.
that's the only way I know how to do it.
Don't be graphic like that.
My
It's just natural,
Not with
Elliot.
Mike.
Lee
Buck.
was there.
Everyone was
Steve was there. We had a good time. It was like 2 or 3 hours in the pool. We had a great time, and I was throwing my
I think
kids.
it was
and-
more than that.
It might have been a long time. Anywho, Alana was there. Hi, Alana.
Alana's in the background.
At the
there.
very end of this pretty good time, we're about to walk out, and all of a sudden, my daughter in the pool goes, "Ow!" and she flinches and she throws her head back. And then I look, and my son is on the side of the pool, standing, obviously threw something, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" And he goes, he threw it at me. And then I look at him, he's got nothing. I see nothing in the water. And then I look to the right of my son and I see a bed full of rocks. And I realize that he picked up a full-on
Rock.
Pile of
massive
rocks?
rock and just
Chucked it at
just
a head.
chucked it fastball at my daughter's head in the pool.
At his
Hit
own
her,
sister.
And he hit her right in the eye. And the only reason The only reason
Wait,
she
why
was
didn't
okay.
I see this?
'Cause
You
we were
had just
gone.
left.
We
The
just
only
left.
reason there isn't
Oh my
blood
God,
in this
yes.
scenario is that she was wearing goggles.
Goggles.
So he hit her in the goggles, and then I looked at the bottom of the pool, and lo and behold, massive fucking rock at
What
the
did you
bottom
do?
of the pool.
Did you cut his hand off? That's what I.
You-
I
that's
almost
what you
did.
do. You
I've
cut their
never
hands
been.
off.
It's been a long time since I've been this angry.
No, the man is allowed to stone the woman.
That's what I think. Okay,
in
all right.
biblical
No, I just it's.
law.
a
He's
little
not allowed to
different.
stone
Biblical
the
times
son
are Beretta
because the
times.
son is a matriarch or
Progeny,
a progeny.
He's a patriarch. He's a patriarch.
And may I ask you, not to whatever, but has your daughter sinned at all?
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
constantly. She's a woman,
This
so
is
she was
such a
born in
journey.
sin.
Perhaps it's
So
not really Jackson's fault.
Oh, so maybe
Michael's
he
gonna
was meant to
slowly
cast.
climb over to this
I
side.
love this. I love it.
So
Sin
my son,
podcast.
my son slammed my daughter in the face with a massive rock, and where we're at right now is that we are in the midst of punishment, where I'm like, look, what you have done is something that could have affected her for life.
Yeah.
You could have blinded her. You could have gave her a scar. There's a lot of things, and I do know that as a parent and as somebody that used to also be a child with siblings.
And a child star.
Yeah,
No, never that.
almost.
But I also
Were you a rock
so
Joe
here's
was the
the-
Gerber baby.
Here, I guess
Thank you, Elliot.
Rock star.
where I'm going with this conversation topic is, I'm very angry. He is definitely being disciplined right now. So my question is a dual question to you all, which is one. What is the worst thing
I know
that
it
you
now.
ever did to one of your siblings?
I know.
Oh,
And
I
how
got
were you
it.
punished?
Yeah, we all got it. All right,
And
let's
two-
go down. Let's go this way.
Two,
Now.
I
Let's
love
go this
this.
way.
This
We'll
is
start
great.
with Elliot.
And
I'll
two,
go, Michael will go, and then Lee. will.
and if you don't have a sibling, a friend, or whatever, and
Yeah.
then two,
What's the worst thing you ever did?
yeah,
To a friend.
to a friend or a
She's dead.
sibling.
or how about no? How about this? What's the
Body
worst thing you ever
buried in
did to a
Angela's forest.
relative?
Sure, and then what
So it
is the
should be
worst?
sibling, relative,
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
And follow up. What's
Or
the
just
worst
sibling.
thing a parent? What's the worst punishment a parent ever gave you for anything?
This is great
Oh,
because I
man.
got the parent thing
great.
down.
Go.
Okay, so Elliot, go for it. Or Joe, you go first.
No, well, I presented the question.
Okay.
so
Yeah,
I
he's
refuse.
gonna
Here you
present
go,
We'll
it.
come
Elliot,
back
take my
around
thing.
to you. Elliot, go ahead.
Mine is pretty quick. The first answer I had was one time there was my brother shot me with a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
No, it's a
Nerf
Nerf
gun.
gun.
Nerf
It's
gun.
not. This isn't. I know I'm from Florida, but this isn't gonna get that.
I mean,
dark
we
that
shot
quick.
each other with BB guns
But
all
then,
the time.
one time, my brother was kind of lording over me. My brother was lording
Camera.
over me with a. He was like, I don't know, there was some kind of whatever. I had a gun that had a disc on it, that it shot discs at people.
cool.
And I wound it up, and he was making fun of me, and I just remember really vividly putting it a half an inch from his face
Yep.
and just hitting the trigger
Yeah.
and just firing in his face. But I
Yeah.
think the worst thing that I ever did was ratted him out for his porno mag. Steve, what do you got?
Nice.
the conversation?
They weren't even porno mags. They were just risque posters.
J.C.
that he had
Penney
folded.
underwear
It was
section.
basically that. Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
my brother had the bra section.
it was-
I
That's not a
touched
joke.
myself to J.C. Penney.
Yeah.
Yo,
Same.
absolutely.
Same.
Yeah.
Are
you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Jim Palmer, the baseball player, and his
Sears
little
catalog.
tidy whities was my first masturbatory experience. Thanks, Jim Palmer. Everyone's Googling Jim Palmer. 1980s baseball
right.
player. Yeah.
Not Mike Ditka. Not
Mike
Ditka.
Ditka, no.
Never Ditka.
Well, you never know.
Anyway,
thickness
I
to
feel bad
Ditka.
about that, and I never apologized about it, but I feel
Do you
bad.
think
You
you
have
do
an
it now?
opportunity.
Call your brother and apologize to
Yeah.
him right now.
Well, you don't have to call him. Just say
No.
he listens. Why don't you just say it?
It's not even a lack of embarrassment. It's just I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Do you think you will ever or no?
Yeah, I would do it. I would be like, hey,
knows.
man, I'm
Like,
sorry
will
about
it?
that.
Would if it hadn't come up now? Would you have ever thought to apologize for it?
Yeah,
at
of
some
course,
point?
I would
Interesting.
absolutely do that. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I could give two shits with your story.
What was your worst punishment as a child?
Oh, the worst punishment.
Oh, that's a good
Two-part
one.
question.
Well, I was spanked as a kid, so I assume that was it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there was no creative punishment. It was just I got spanked and hit with the back of my dad's hand, and every now and then a beer bottle, and a slight.
True?
And the back of his
It's such
head
a lie.
was fully metal.
are the sweetest people
They're the sweetest people in the world. My mom would always cry when she would spank us.
Yeah.
she just-
It's impossible to imagine. No, I just got spanked as a kid. It was I had no problem with my punishment as a kid. There was never a punishment I had as a kid that I thought I didn't deserve, even if I did deserve
That's
it.
my thing too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
honestly.
always deserved it.
But the thing is like, did we deserve it? Like, deserve it?
100%.
Yeah, but like, really deserve it.
I mean,
like,
my
'cause
mom is
that's-
Tennessee,
Don't
and
hit
she
a
always
kid.
says, "No, my mom is Tennessee, and she always says, you got to spank the brain back up in their head.
Oh, man.
You got sometimes it falls to their butt. You got to spank it back up in their head.
What's gonna happen to that generation? You think?
In terms
Or
of
us.
in terms of actual curiosity, Michael Buckley happens to be a very good life coach who
That's
I
true.
gather inspiration from almost daily.
Thank you, Alex.
And thank you. Thank you. And so what is your opinion on whether or not a parent should hit a child?
That's very
I didn't mean it as a
good.
challenge. I
Holy
meant it as
shit.
actual curiosity.
Wow.
All I know is I was hit like twice as a child, and I deserved it both times.
See?
And it had zero
Deserved it both
impact on
times.
my adulthood. It really didn't. So
Yeah.
that's my answer.
That's
is,
your-
Again, I'm not condoning spanking, but I'm not arguing against it. I was spanked 2 or 3 times, and every time the moment it was done, I'm like, I was being an asshole.
Yeah.
So I knew it.
Yeah.
So
Every time I was spanked, I was like, I deserved worse than whatever
Yes,
that was.
I thought that too every
So
time I was
can't-
spanked.
Yeah. But you hear other stories, and you're like, I can't believe. So I don't know.
I've never been emotionally scarred from
Me
the
neither.
spanking.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
one of
I
those
mean,
of like,
do
yeah, I
you-
was being horrible.
So let's say Mike Buckley, not Michael Buckley. Mike Buckley had.
Mike Buck.
Mike Buckley loves spanking. Michael Buckley is very much against it. Guess which one is gay?
both of them
Oh, man,
secretly.
that's wrong.
Elliot Morgan.
Spank me, Daddy. Spank me. I'm in Palm Springs.
Indian
Wells.
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 Excuse me, Indian Wells is what is it? Would you if you had a child, if you got to a point where
I don't live
This is such a
hypothetically.
big
I really
Oh,
don't.
I love
don't.
that.
There's no
What a-
mental
what a
energy.
cop-out.
I don't need to know.
No,
I,
it's so
I could
good.
care
He's
less.
right.
I'm not a
There's-
parent.
Yeah.
If I ever had a parent a child, I'd make it up as I go. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how I'd parent because I
That's-
don't know.
I guess
That's
that-
what
you know
you
what?
do.
Great-
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
you
Oh,
do.
yeah, if I ever have a
Great point. That's a very great point.
Hey everybody, Joe here for a quick word from our sponsors. The first one is Robinhood. Script, read verbatim. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all your profits, which is nice. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of the Valleycast a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. So, sign up at valley.robinhood.com. That is valley.robinhood.com. That was all the verbatim stuff. I'll also throw on there. It's really fun, and it really taught me a lot about investing in the stocks that I never knew before, so give it a shot. Help us help you. Okay, there's that one, Kate. Now I will bring up the second one, Kate. This episode's also brought to you by Stamps.com. No one really has time to go to the post office. You're busy, right? Who's got time for all that traffic and parking and lugging all that mail and packages around? It's a real hassle because you have so many friends and people you want to keep in touch with in an old school type of way. That's why you need Stamps.com, one of the most popular time-saving tools for small businesses like us. Stamps.com eliminates trips to the post office and saves you money with discounts that you can't even get at the post office. Stamps.com brings all the amazing services of the U.S. Post Office right to your computer, whether you're a small office sending invoices like us, an online seller shipping out products, or even a warehouse sending thousands of packages a day. Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. Simply use your computer to print official U.S. postage 24/7 for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send. Once your mail is ready, just hand it to your mail carrier. We'll call him Jim. or drop it in a mailbox. It's that simple. With Stamps.com, you get 5 cents off every first-class stamp and up to 40% off priority mail, and those are just crazy numbers and stats we're throwing at you. Not to mention, it's a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters. Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving you time and money. It's no wonder over 700,000 small businesses already use Stamps.com. So right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. So just go to Stamps.com, click on that microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Valleycast. That's Stamps.com. Enter Valleycast. Stamps.com being our sponsor makes us feel like a legit company, so thank you so much, Stamps.com. And when you get that package in the mail and then you have the Stamps.com stuff, it makes you also feel like a legit company. So 2 for 1.
Wait, Steve, what is the worst thing Frank did to you or you
Yeah,
did to
there we go.
Frank?
Brotherly love. What's the
'Cause
worst
you guys
shit
were really
you did
lovely
to each other?
right?
No, I mean he's
Yeah, I
old.
love it.
So
He's older, yeah.
He's older, and I'm the younger brother, and so I was a pain in the ass,
Yep.
and he was. We were very close for forever, and then in high school he got his like cool boyfriend, like friends,
my group of friends.
and they were kind of like assholes to me.
They
and
call themselves the boyfriends.
Well, hey man,
his boyfriend.
hey, me and my boyfriends are hanging out tonight. All right, like in the '90s. You imagine that shit? No way.
You gotta use that for a sketch. Me and the
ready.
boyfriends.
But
Got his boyfriend.
hanging with his boyfriends. But anyway,
Title Steve outs his brother.
no, but I mean, so I was the little brother that would come into the room and be annoying.
Yeah.
And what older brother wants to hang out with their fucking little brother when their friends are around? You know,
Especially
like
at that age. Yeah.
I totally get that. So that's kind of wherever it got kind of like
Yeah.
where our friendship kind of like was wavering a little bit. But we were always good friends. We'd always been friends, but I can't remember specifically what he did to me to make me this angry.
Oh, I love it.
But I think the worst thing I
I can't
ever
remember either.
right, like I can't remember
Like,
what.
there's never. I
You
never
don't
remember the
the
impetus.
catalyst. You never remember the
Yeah.
catalyst.
Yeah.
I do. I remember
It's the
catalyst.
vengeance that sticks with you.
The inciting incident is
Yeah, I
that what
remember
it
it.
is? Yeah. So yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember being so mad at him. We had this like fucking huge Sears like family portrait that was like, a family mainstay. It was like been in the house since we were like babies, and my brother and I are babies in it basically, and my mom and dad are like 70s, like my dad's got the big collar 70s, like
Hell yeah.
my mom's got like the 70s mom hair, and she looks great and everybody looks great. And so what I did was I think I might have gotten a quarter. And I went to my brother, my brother's face, and I scratched his face
Oh my God, your mom was
with
furious.
a quarter. And then I was like, "Uh-oh!" I didn't realize like how much damage.
Dude, those moments, those let's go get a big family portrait moments meant so much
Oh,
time
yeah.
and
Yeah.
effort
And money.
financial.
Yeah. It was like a special thing, and it was like a big thing in the 80s to
Oh,
get like a big
no.
Sears
I
family
love that
portrait.
yours is so. What a like an old lord. You were like, I'll scratch out his face.
Yeah,
like,
I
it
just,
wasn't
like-
anger. It
yeah.
wasn't
He
anything,
won't
it was just, like-
exist if I
Yeah.
get rid of his visage.
Do you have one where
I'll
you?
tell
Cause you.
tell the punishment first, and then the.
Oh, I
what
love the
did.
punishment
Well,
first.
I just want to say,
Isn't it good?
that I was spanked 2 or 3 times. One time I remember like I had pizza and my mother didn't get my favorite kind of apple juice, and I just picked up my apple juice and poured it on the pizza, and my father just came across. And I was like,
my
you
God.
should have seen my little bitchy face. Like, I'll show you.
Yeah,
And
you
my
were
father
an
just came towards me. And then the other thing, we were fishing.
That's amazing.
We were fishing. I was wearing white sneakers, and I didn't want to be fishing. And my father said to me at least 3 times, "Stop getting your feet, whatever." And I just kept swishing
Yeah.
my feet all the way down to my socks, and I was just being a jerk. And he came and hogged me, and I'm standing there like, I deserve this. Like,
'Cause
Yes.
kids
so
do that.
I was
They
being a
test.
jerk, so I remember
Yeah.
those hittings, and again, never being that upset. Because I'm like, I'm being a jerk. Go ahead and hit me. Hit twice in my life, turned out great. The worst discipline of my life, though, was 6th grade. I got all C's on my report card, and she took TV away for the entire next semester.
Oh, my
And I
God.
sat in the bathroom
Lady.
like crying because if I didn't watch, I didn't like reading. I didn't like. I mean, I
That's
read
a
comic
huge
books, but I had
one.
TV taken away for months, and that was the worst punishment in 6th
Oh,
grade.
that would be that would be
Terrible.
my nightmare right
Terrible.
now. That would be
Terrible.
a full nightmare.
The whole like 3 months
What
at
did
least.
you
there.
do?
I
He
read
cried.
comic books. Played. I did.
Dude.
Read, I was a big
Did your
comic
grades
book
get
fan. They did. I got all A's the next
There we go.
semester, and then I did the school play and got all C's again.
Yeah.
My life was all C's. do the, get the school play, and then when I didn't care, like it was weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, the
I
bad
love
things to
that.
my siblings were, I'll tell you the fun. I mean, I remember like my brother was 6 years older. And would make gay jokes about me, and I'd get so mad, like I'd throw, like I remember throwing a whole set of keys at him, and I remember once kicking him in the nuts, like as hard as I could, just because I was so upset.
Yeah.
You don't remember the incident? I was doing like women's gymnastics things, and he just said, "Oh, you're in a little fairy, aren't you?" And I just lost my mind and went over and like kicked him in the nuts. So, fun
Good for
story.
you.
I love my brother. But the funny story involves being very gay, and does also involve gymnastics, and this was like a lie throughout my life that I didn't tell until later. So we had a couch. And I would always do these balance beam routines on them, like I would do turns and
On the edge,
handstands and
just
like on the
Yes.
edge. And I would do it, and eventually over time, the couch just fell apart. And one day, I remember thinking, well, this sucks because I love doing dismounts off the couch. My whole life was coming in the basement and doing gymnastics, and it was broken down. And so I was upset about it. But then also I thought, well, I'm not going to get in trouble for this. And I'm pretty sure it was around the time I was being a bad student. So I'm like, I can't add to it by causing furniture disarray. So I basically just kind of manually pumped the couch back up and then just sat there. And then like the next day, my twin sister, who never really did gymnastics, hopped up there and broke it.
Oh, shit.
And I looked at her like, oh.
I can't believe you
Oh
broke
my
it.
God! And so
You're reckless, you know that,
right.
Jennifer?
So
I don't know
I
where
let
your
my
sister-
sister accept the blame for breaking the couch based on my gymnastics routine, which is so stupid.
Wait,
But
so
that's-
you let her
amazing.
take the blame?
Yeah,
that's
I was
good.
like, oh, Debbie,
That's
what
good.
happened?
Yeah.
And then, like, 10
Does
years
Debbie
later,
know?
She know. Yeah, like 10 years later, my mother was like, we knew it was you, asshole. Of course it was you. Who else was doing gymnastics routines? But
That's
for years, I felt
amazing.
guilty, and I was a big prayer. I prayed about it. I prayed about my
can't believe you
dog
prayed
dying,
about all
and I
of
prayed
that.
Oh, I
about
was a
any
prayer.
lie
I was a
told.
prayer,
I love to
too.
pray about lies.
Yeah.
So I'd
Elliot walked away at the wrong time.
Yeah, you
I
really
know.
list
did.
off things I would apologize for to God, and so that was just one of my things I apologized to.
I'm
Oh,
sorry I
love
broke
that
the
so
So I
couch.
lied about it and got my
Yeah.
sister and
I got a
whatever.
lot of lies but I never really prayed about it. What is he? He's just dancing in
He's
the
trying to get
background.
more drinks.
Yes, that makes sense. He's thirsty. I think I've told.
Go
this
ahead,
story
Elliot.
before,
There's
but
a vending machine, I think, real close by if you want some.
There is. If you want to just head on out, you can head on out, buddy. We'll be here if you want it. No, but I think I've told this story before because it's the one that has scarred me the most, and also because it really was one that showed off that me and my sister were same, about 6 years apart, 5.5 years apart, and it was for girls. It's really hard. Me and my brother never fought. We loved each other. We love each other to this day. We would get in arguments, but we would always be like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you so much." You know, it was very sweet. And me and my sister would almost kill each other on the regular. We're talking like vases thrown.
Oh, I
We're
understand.
like
Yeah.
real stuff. And the one that I remember the most from me was she did something to upset me. And there was a stick there was like a walking stick that we would all use on our porch. It was a big stick, much like the size of a baseball bat. And I remember just full force slamming the back of her with it. Like something out of WWE.
How old were you?
7, 8,
That's
just
a good-
ready to
that's a
like
good
just take
arm on
her
you.
out.
Yeah, that is
Just
a good
ready-
arm when you're 8. Yeah.
Just ready to
That's
take her
prime
out,
arm.
and it like
That's prime
messed
arm
her up.
time.
But it
She
pissed
limps still.
her off so much that she did something horrible.
What's
the
her
one
name?
incident, Sarah.
She knows what you fucking
She
did.
knows what she did. It pissed her off. The one incident that I remember was I borrowed a shirt of hers. She had asked me not to borrow it 900 times, and I borrowed it. I 100% got ketchup on it, like something really wonderful. And she went and she grabbed me and she threw me in the dryer, and she turned it on.
Wow.
Was
I
that
was
so
little.
much
Permanent
fun?
press.
I was a little kid.
How much did she hate
Yeah.
you?
She was just like,
That's like every 80s sitcom right
Yeah.
there. I want to borrow your blouse. Oh no, I spilled ketchup on it. Well, now you get the
"Now
dryer.
you get the dryer."
Yep.
It really was it. I spilled something on. I ruined it. I
Wait,
ruined
wait.
the shirt.
Wait. I gotta know. Did it actually start?
100%. I was. And
Did
she
you
was
tumble?
Pressing, I tumbled.
Was it
She was
fun?
pressing against it, and if it wasn't for Jacob Newton, I would still be in that dryer.
To this day.
Whoa.
I've always thought you look pretty fluffy.
Thank you, babe. Thank you. No, it really was one of those where she was ready. Like she was, but we
Good
pissed each other
girl.
off so much that we were ready to just. Like, and it was those things where it's like, do you have empathy of like, you could have really hurt her? And she was like, yeah, and? Like that was
Yeah.
kind of the
'Cause
goal,
I wanted-
man.
I see big pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Same with
wanted
you. Not
to.
throwing rocks. I don't see. You can
Just
show me a
the
glass. You want me to throw this at
rage.
you? I don't see big
I
picture.
don't.
Yeah.
But the punishment that I remember being the worst, and it was so dumb, is we got spanked a lot. That was fine because we were horrible people. And she had 3 of us. I felt so bad for my mom. Just like two's company, three's a crowd, and we're all just like, like fucking
Yeah, you're a little
assholes.
monsters, yeah.
But I remember I had a 4 hours staring at a wall. It was
Yeah, that's
4
not
hours.
fun. That's
it was
not
4
good.
hours. I can't exactly remember what I did. It was probably something very sexual with a boy, and it was like literally 4
You are
hours.
23. You
yesterday.
had sex.
It was yesterday.
Stare at this wall for
No,
2
I
days.
think it was
Yep.
no. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Rules,
It was when. It wasn't when I was older. I don't remember. It was like I think it was younger grades, but I just remember it was literally. I remember looking at the clock and looking back and forth, and she was just like, "Not yet, not yet." So like living in your thoughts.
What
for
bottle was
that
it, vodka
long.
or whiskey that she had in her hand? Is that not
It
yet?
was sweet tea.
Your
It's always
virginity,
and
not
forever
yet.
gonna be
Yeah.
not
Not
yet. Not yet.
Save it.
Not yet.
Not until you're married.
Not till. And I did.
Not till mommy's braces come off.
That's not true. No,
I
no.
did. No, but it was. I just remember that being like watching the clock, and I really don't remember what it was, but I remember that being the worst punishment period because nothing else did they follow through with. I was the youngest kid; they never follow through with it. I mean, it's like one of those things. But I remember 4 hours of her just being like, "You looking at that wall? Keep looking." And I couldn't look. I couldn't do anything. So like being in thought for that was pure agony. I don't know why that was such a big deal to me, but that I remember that being
stuck
like,
with you, though.
that's awful.
It stuck with you, yeah.
It stuck with
that's
me
the
real
important part.
good. It was a long time, and also
Now
just
as an
like
adult, you're like all sitting and looking at the wall for 4 hours.
it's my dream.
sounds
It's all I
great.
wanted
That
to.
haunts you?
Yeah. Well, she has to be punished.
The worst thing that ever happened to me sibling-wise,
He just openly cries.
I had an MVP trophy that I got when I was.
That's
an
for those of you that
11.
don't sport. That's
brag.
most valuable plobble.
I was the
Most valuable
I got that
possum.
when I was 11, and that's what I thought mattered at the time.
Yep.
And then after a couple years, my brother and I got into a fight. My younger brother, who was younger and smaller than me for the longest time, who is now younger and way bigger and a cop could totally just obliterate me at any freaking moment. You guys have seen him. He looks like the mountain from Game of
He does.
Thrones.
Totally does.
He does, but like shorter.
Compared to me.
You
Yes.
talking about that monster that I have nightmares about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big
Joe's
boy.
brother, yeah.
He in one of our fights broke my MVP trophy. He threw it against a
There's
wall.
your 80s movie again.
And I
Because he knew it would hurt you.
because
or...
I identified by baseball at that time in my life, and that is the only time, and
there's your
really
problem.
the only time that could be possible that I swung and hit him in the face with a closed fist.
You actually punched him.
I punched him in
Good
the face.
for you.
I cried immediately. I hit him and I was like, I was still angry and I still felt like the alpha male in the moment, but I was crying like the beta
buddy.
male. What's the C word for a Greek letter? Cunt.
I was going to do it
cr-
too. I was crying like a cunt.
Everybody
Like a
said
giant
that.
cunt.
Everybody said that.
Everyone thought.
What's the other word?
But I swung and I hit him, and it didn't affect him
Christ.
enough. It affected him that his older brother hit him to the point where I could tell that he was affected by it. But he wasn't physically affected because he could kill me if he wanted to.
Even then.
So that was
then.
the biggest moment in a sibling rivalry, and it really did. Like, it hurt me to do it. It hurt everything that led up to me doing that hurt, and I still feel weird about it. But
Do you think Jackson's going to get over that eye rock thing? Because
he's
got
gonna
to
forget tomorrow?
Yeah, he's got to put him in. I'm telling you, the refrigerator isn't a bad idea.
That's what I'm
He's
saying.
got at least 2 hours of oxygen in there.
It gets
parental
cold.
Beatings.
It's real cold.
My mom was the spanker. She, I remember one time she lifted, and I think I've talked to you guys about it before. And I don't remember what the catalyst was for the moment, but
You never did.
She lifted I used to hide under the bed, and I remember her lifting the bed up with one arm.
You buried the lead, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's back up to the hiding under the bed
Wait, how do
part.
I tell it better? What do I say?
Lead with the hiding under the bed.
I
and why
hid
you
under
were
the
doing
bed.
that.
I was hiding under the bed because I did something that was not good. And my mother lifted the bed up over her head with one arm
my
and
God.
pulled me out from underneath it
This is me.
to get me into hitting range, and then spanked me with it.
Ah.
Not with the bed,
I
with her
get it.
hand.
Slam, slam, slam.
But that stuck with me. And again, It's the same with you guys.
What's the curb stomp? Like a bed stomp.
Curb
it's a
stomp?
bed stomp.
It's a bed
This
stomp.
is all
American
WWE
History
stuff.
X?
I know. No.
Casper Stomp.
Casper
Casper
stomp.
stomp.
That's what it is.
She was the spanker.
Lisa stomp.
Hashtag
Dude.
sponsored.
I don't spank, but I use
Here's
psychological
the other
damage.
thing about parenting. I'm just going to tell you right now, because the thing is, especially if you have a lot of kids, like you could be the nicest person in the world, and you can give them like $1 million and an education and boundaries and teach them to be empathy,
So
whatever,
true.
and they still turn out to be
Yeah.
assholes, and
Yeah.
there's no reflection on you. So it's like that. You
Genetics
have
are
to
real.
let go of that. Every parent listening, if your parent, it's like you have very little to do.
Yes,
I
you
know
really
you think
do
you're
know.
so powerful and you can turn out this great kid, but
Yeah.
they're going to turn out how they're going to turn
Yeah,
out.
you
That's
can't.
true.
You can't do it. You can't do
The
anything
worst
about
Calm
it.
families
down.
can make the best people,
Of
and the
course.
best families
Yeah.
can. It's like it is. It's such a thing. It is.
Stop the
Yeah.
panic about
So, what do you
parenting.
think about scaring the shit out of children?
Again, I don't like to live in hypothetical.
Dude, I would go
Do what works
if
for
I
you.
was
I'm not a
Joe.
parent.
If I was Joe,
Yeah.
I would bust through the door
Oh,
in
wow.
the hotel room as
Okay.
soon as we're done here, and then go back to, and just go like freak, just do really weird shit. Like just do like walk around in a circle and just like not stop.
I mean,
and then
I do
just-
love-
And then
yeah.
just like slam your body into the corner of the room and just stare at the wall.
Psychological abuse is way better than physical
Yeah,
abuse.
this is
Yeah,
some
yeah, that's what I'm
scarring
saying.
shit.
The lesson is, I mean,
Yeah, but
thank
you're
God
not gonna
for the
hit
goggles.
them. What do you
want to
do?
Yay,
Hold
goggles.
on. Would you rather
Yeah.
that I hit them? Like I just scaring them is at least
He's 5.
If
he
I-
threw
if
rocks.
builds
was-
character.
I'm over it already.
I mean,
Creates
do you guys
people.
remember?
Yeah.
I know, me too. Do you
Instills
guys
in them
remember
a
Arrested
sense of-
pills for
Development? When they would
Pills
always
for
do
being
those
an asshole.
lessons?
when they would do what?
Oh no, Joe
There
doesn't
are.
watch it. I just think that he should probably come in with a bloody eye and say, "Someone
Yeah.
threw a rock at me."
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
switch
it's
it
like the
up.
guy from Arrested
That's what I was
Development.
just
Yeah. That's why you always leave a note.
It doesn't matter what you do, Joe. Jackson's going to turn out exactly how he's going to turn out, is what Buckley's saying, and he's correct on it. There's nothing.
So
you
don't
can
try?
Do.
You're
Yeah.
telling me not to try?
Yeah, don't
he's not a
punish.
horrible
That's
human.
exactly what
Elliot
I'm
told
saying.
me
I'm
not to
saying
You can
try.
show him a
don't
YouTube
try.
video like Rock's accident and show somebody who got hit with a rock. Go
Rock
on
fail.
YouTube right now, Rock fail, and show somebody who got hit with an eye.
Look.
You know?
Ooh,
Show 'em a
that's
video.
Medical photos of people with like blinded eyes from a
Sure.
rock.
See,
The
look,
lesson is this, and then we're going to move on to a new
We
topic.
have to.
I can do the best that I can do in the
We
moment that makes me feel
have
good.
to.
And then when he turns into a monster in the future, it's not my fault because I did my best. And I can point to that because I talked about it on a podcast. And here we are.
Congratulations!
And when this gets played in a court of law, I hope
Scapegoat
everyone is
podcast.
fond of us and
I did my
We had
best.
a good run, so thank you.
Hey guys, it's Joe again with another quick break so you can hear from Eero, one of our awesome sponsors. Eero is a company that lets you have awesome Wi-Fi in your home and also protects you while doing so. Guys, the single router model doesn't just work for our increasingly high bandwidth world. It's simple physics. Like light waves, Wi-Fi waves don't go through walls. Very well. Imagine asking a light bulb in your living room to light your master bedroom. It can't do that. What you need is a distributed system. This is what offices have had for years at considerable work and expense. With Eero, you can install an enterprise-grade Wi-Fi system in your home in just a few minutes. Simply download the Eero app on your iOS or Android devices, and it'll walk you through each step of the process. It's quick and easy and painless. I did it, I know, and I actually have Wi-Fi in my house for the first time that actually works. It's very nice. Current Wi-Fi routers are really tough to manage and optimize. The Eero app lets you manage your network from the palm of your hand, so you'll know how many devices are connected at any given point, as well as the internet speed that you are getting from your service provider, which is also important because, you're paying for that. You can also easily create and share a guest network, which I have also done. I named it after, I'm not going to go there because that's none of your business. Eero is protected with a state-of-the-art WPA2 encryption, and because it controls the hardware and the software for your entire network, it ensures that you're always secure, which is great. Since traditional routers don't push software updates to their customers, they are left vulnerable to cyber attacks. Eero updates automatically so that you not only have the latest features, but the latest security at all times. So you have, it's like a best friend that does the thing that a best friend is supposed to do, but also will kick the crap out of the people that are trying to hurt you. Eero has incredible customer support. It's something that the company has really invested in. You can call and get a hold of a Wi-Fi expert within 30 seconds. If you have any worries about your other connected devices during setup, one of Eero's experts can walk you through everything. Their experts can also help you if you're not sure how many Eeros are right for your home. Just call. So, you guys, I put this in my house recently, and my wife and I have come to verbal blows because of the horrible annoyance of our Wi-Fi not working, and we put Eero in, and now it works, and I don't have to fix things that my wife doesn't want to fix and always makes me do it. Getting a little too personal. I'm giving you the personal read, Eero, but it's a little much. So it's really good. It works. I know it works. So, guys, never think about Wi-Fi again. Get $100 off the Eero base unit and 2 beacons package and 1 year of Eero Plus. Go to Eero. That's EERO.com/Valleycast and enter the promo code Valleycast. That is Eero.com/Valleycast. Get Wi-Fi that works and also protects everything and all the weird things that you do online. Back to the show.
Michael Buckley,
Oh, I love this.
the rest of the Valley folk here have talked endlessly about garbage, and you're our guest. And so I'd love to hear you just kind of talk. And one of my favorite things about you is just listening to you talk.
That's very true.
Truly. Like,
Yeah.
you just have a lot of fun shit to say, and it's always smart and intelligent and good-intentioned and well-intentioned, and I love you very much for it. So what's going on? Like, what do you want to talk about in your life right now? Like, or what,
do you?
What is a topic you'd like to talk about? Or what's something that's bothering you? Or what's like... Or what's something that's making you very happy? What's something that makes you happy right now?
Oh, that's good. I
Yeah,
like that.
there you go. Let's go there.
Maybe.
Happiness for me is very easy. Happiness has always been easy. It's so interesting because I think as parents, you tell your kids, I just want you to be happy. And I think that does really weird things to your brain. Because it's like, we're not supposed to be that happy. It's like, really, the reason that we're unhappy in life is because we think we're entitled to more happiness than we have. So, I mean, when I coach people, I coach humanness because I'm here for the human experience. I know what happiness is. Happiness is, drinking and sex and fun times with friends. And happiness is very easy.
Yes.
But the other stuff isn't. And so I'm much more, you wouldn't know what a happy day felt like if you didn't have a shitty day. So like, I love the shitty days. I love all the terrible things I've been through because they greatly inform who I am versus the happy me, which is just kind of on autopilot and just like going along life. I'm happy. And then suddenly you're unhappy and you panic versus now when I'm unhappy, I'm like, oh, good, I'm unhappy because that's part of it, man.
Yeah.
So you feel like you have a handle on
I have
it?
a handle on it. My joy sources are very diverse. I think I used to put all my joy in either a person or a career or a something, and
Ooh,
now
I
my
like that joy
my joy
sources.
sources are totally internal. I do not outsource my joy, but I also
Can you teach me how to do that?
Yes, I mean it's your thoughts, but I mean I literally looked for external solutions to internal problems my entire life. I will make more money. I will get more people to love me. I'll have more whatever, and it's like, oh, I solve all my problems with my brain. So on a daily basis, I create joy if I want joy. I also create disappointment if I want to create disappointment. But again, I'm responsible for my emotions. It's not YouTube or my ex-husband or anything else. We'd love to blame our children and YouTube and for all of our problems. But again, the book I'm working on is called "You're the Problem, Bitch."
I love it.
Understanding
Well, I
that
don't like the profanity.
I will say it is a female vernacular.
Yeah,
and I don't love
that's
it.
the way I talk. I'm always like, it's you, bitch. You're the problem. You're
No,
the
it's
solution.
very you. It's very
you
on
can solve it
brand.
immediately. It's like you can solve all your problems. So yeah, what's making me happy these days is I uprooted my life and I don't even recognize myself. Like I've evolved into a different. I'm nothing at 43 like 33 like 23, and I'm so grateful that I don't even know what 53, 63 is going to look like, but I'm just
that's
buckled up
fun.
and I'm present. And I think again we're so past or future focused. It could all end tomorrow. So it's like there's nothing better than this moment with
You
you
might
guys
have
right
to
now.
say buckled
Present
up.
is
Buckled
the
up
best.
might
Buckle up,
actually
yeah.
have
Buckle
to be
up.
something.
Could be, yeah. Buckle up.
Michael,
Buckle up.
Buckle
Michael
up.
Buckley, buckle up.
Have you ever thought of making a show called Buckley Up?
Buckley up? Me and Spike Lee. Marlene, Buckley up.
Follow up.
No, I love that
Go.
so much.
Okay,
though, that
Joe has a
internal-
follow-up.
Big follow-up, and I think this is important for like the world that we're in. Like you grew up, but you came into prominence on YouTube.
Yes.
I feel like you don't give a crap about it anymore. In the best way. Can you elaborate on that?
It's not that I don't give a crap about it anymore, because I think I didn't give a crap about it towards the end of my career when I was I'd go to VidCon or playlist and people didn't know who I was and I was so upset. I was like, what happened? Why did it all go so wrong? I didn't give a crap about it at the end because I was also making content that I had no interest in. I was trying to maintain a YouTube persona. I was really, again, talk about wanting from abundance versus wanting from scarcity. I was desperate. Like I felt desperate.
You grew, but you were,
So
weren't
I
that
was
person.
very much didn't care about YouTube, but now I love YouTube. I have a tattoo of YouTube. YouTube made so much of my life possible. I wouldn't have known any of you. I take great pride in being an original partner, and it's just I love what I did, and I did it for 10 years, and now I'm doing something else, and it's a small part of my life, but I have nothing but love and gratitude for it. It's not that I don't care, because not caring feels icky.
Yeah,
You're like,
of
oh,
course.
fuck
Well,
you.
you're not
dude.
separate.
It's
You're
not
not
that I don't
dependent.
I'm not indifferent at all. And when
Yeah.
I coach people about like relationships, a lot of times they're like, I want to feel nothing. I'm like, well, then you're screwed. Because
Yeah.
then you're fighting the feeling. I want to feel something. So I feel love and peaceful and grateful towards YouTube, and that's it.
I started watching your Instagram stories when Grace turned me on to your Instagram.
Thank you. And you send me such lovely
When he
messages.
turned him
I
on,
appreciate
when he
it.
turned him
You're
on to
amazing,
it.
and I think what I gravitate toward you with is like my whole thing when I went through my like existential whatever, my crisis. What I gravitated toward was like the darker kind of like nihilistic, kind of like psychoanalytic. Like, well, we're all kind of like you're never gonna have that like absolute happiness, pristine, whatever. And so when you actually experience that, it makes everything else easier. But what's interesting is like I think it's two sides of the same coin, and I think what I gather from you and what I get from you is like the opposite end of like joy in the not having the thing that you think you should have, and it all kind of points in the same direction, and I think it's very beautiful. And
Thank you.
and I think it's very cool to see. Like I'm like, because my whole thing, especially brand wise, is people are like, well, Elliot's like the morose, like depressed one, and then like, well, I don't feel that way. Like I definitely give that off, and I don't really.
I feel like that was an old brand.
It's an old brand, and people kind of latch onto it, and it is what it is, and you kind of get snapshot for better or worse. But like, yeah. But like now,
No,
it's
I
like,
understand because I'm like the ultimately beautiful rock.
Exactly.
I understand
And it's
it.
like,
no one
yeah,
gets it more than I do. I get it. I'm sexual.
Lee, what is it like to have people wanting to have sex with you all day?
Like,
What is that
do you
like?
carry a bat, or is it?
Started with my sister.
Yeah.
She threw a rock at me in the pool.
I was training to beat all the men away
remember
with
the
a stick.
incident. I remember it.
Good stuff. Good riff. Listen. But anyway, yeah. You're such a joyful, positive side of what I happen to agree with in my like own nerdy kind of like philosophical leanings. Like you're in line with it, but you're so joyful that like it's very contagious, and I very much appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I just always think for all of us, the thing that people want to talk to us about is the least interesting thing about us. So I always just like to start. And also the other thing is, I mean, my joy side is, it's like I said, it's easy for me. And you all knew me, like when you only saw the joy. And then when I was in a really dark place for a while, like I learned to love that person. Like I'm not afraid of that person. Like I do have a dark side. For as warm as I am, I have a cold side.
I think everyone
Seen you at
does.
McDonald's
Yeah.
at 11:50 at night.
Right.
Shoveling
but I think it's so easy to
McNuggets.
love all the great things about ourselves, but I love all the terrible things about myself too, and I don't need therapy or life coaching to change them. I love them. Again, I'm a wonderful person. I'm a terrible person. It's the truth. We all are. We're all I say we're all doing our best, and sometimes our best is absolutely horrible, and that lets me have such compassion
what,
for
though?
everybody.
Okay.
You can fight me on it.
Which is so beautiful.
Fight me on it.
listen,
But
what you're able to do also, in addition to your joy, is you have you're so hilarious.
I appreciate that.
You truly are. So it makes it really nice to like when you package that joy and hilarity instead of like cynicism and comedy. It's real nice. Like,
It's
very-
refreshing.
And again, I've
Yeah.
worked
So
on it, so
refreshing.
thank you. Because again, I always wanted to be a comedian and whatever. And then when
Dude, I was watching your Instagram story.
I'm funny.
2 nights ago. You're very funny.
I'm funny, right?
No, it was 2 mornings ago. It
Yeah.
was your night, and it's just you in the car, and you go, "I've had a great evening. Homosexuals, naked, running around."
This is
Just
his
as God
Buckley.
intended. I watched it 3 times.
And then I got in the car and
Right.
church music came on, and I was like, I told you all.
Did you see the light?
I saw the light. I saw the dicks. I saw it all.
Just as God
Yeah. So yeah, but exactly. Self-help is so goofy by itself. So it's like if I was just like because I see people who do what I do on YouTube and they're dead serious. Like I've worked with some life coach people and I watch their videos and they're just like, I'm not buying what they're selling because it's not
Yeah.
from a point of.
Yes.
That's why even the title of the book, "You're the Problem Bitch," is
Yeah.
like again, it's more like I'm making fun of you and self-help.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
kind of evolved my coaching style. It's kind of like you have no choice now. You get kind of comedic me because I'm laughing and being a comedian, but also a life coach and whatever.
So fun.
it hits all my sweet spots. So thanks.
Do you get strangers reaching out
Yes,
to you
of
for advice? do you get strangers reaching out to you for advice, or like
Of
on
course,
Instagram? Do you talk to people?
Sometimes, but sometimes I mean, I used to do Dear Buck back in the day, which was advice. So people like on my email, it was all advice, and I wouldn't even watch the videos back now because I don't even know how I would have answered them because I was just probably trying to people please and give them. And also,
Tell
I'm
them
your
what they
friend.
wanna
Friendship
hear.
is commiseration. Oh my God, that sucks. Versus you don't want the solution. Like again, if you're a life coach, I'm offering you solutions. If I'm a friend, I'm going to tell you, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow,
so
that's so well put. Yeah.
yeah. And again, most of my life, if you ask me for advice, I'll say, how do you want to think and feel about it? Because like friends will send me like screenshots of weird things, and I'll be like, what do you want? You want my response? Again, like you're asking me, I don't fucking know.
How can you
But
tell?
what do you want to? So whenever something bad happens or something annoys me, I'm always like, well, how do I want to think and feel about this? And then I decide. So that's the biggest tool I give people is decide ahead of time. So I'm coming to a YouTube conference. I'm not waiting for the YouTube conference to happen to see how I feel about it. I know how it's going to go because my thoughts and feelings are in place.
How do you control your emotions in
like
that
it a
sense?
lot.
My thoughts are always so I already have 3 or 5 sentences in my brain about everything, so I know how I'm gonna feel. So like if something happens weird,
Alana's in love.
if something happens and derails, and you're all like that was weird, and you start tweeting weird things about I walk away and it has no emotional impact on me.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for
That's so beautiful.
it's
Just
the
like making the
truth.
choice before
Yeah.
you go in.
I think
Because it's true. We
This
like
is what I'm about. Just so everyone knows,
Luna's
I'm in love.
loving
I
it.
didn't know this about you.
Looney's
I'm
on
in
it.
it.
Thank
She's
you.
ready. She's
Thank you.
so ready.
Yeah.
No, I mean it is the truth. Recently we've been doing like crazy madness things, but it's like making that choice beforehand of just being like, this is how I'm walking into it. This is how I'm deciding to do it. Would have been very helpful in the past with us.
And
That
I'm just
would have been
responsible
something
for
that
me,
I-
especially
Yes.
you guys. Like, you're putting this out there. People are allowed to write or say or tweet mean things. And even you guys are allowed to have a disagreement about how, oh, Buck on the podcast, it was great. It was great. It was kind of boring. Again, I leave. I don't take it personally. I still had a great experience. That's why I say I like you regardless of you. I had a great time regardless of how you all think this went.
Yeah.
All I know is my contribution. That's it. And even as a team of 4, it's like you'll think sometimes like, oh, I had a really bad show. Or I had a really... Again, that's you got to focus
It's
on
all-
your
yeah.
contribution, and again, give yourself the compassion pass. We're so hard on ourselves; it's nuts. Especially
We're
when you're trying to be
so-
funny. You're like,
yes.
but I wasn't funny enough, and then you go home and you beat yourself up. But I'm an artist.
I gave that up a long
Yeah,
time ago.
exactly. So it's like you. Just,
I didn't. I am the worst to
it's
myself. I
tough.
get
Women-
that. It
yeah.
is like
women
that.
are brainwashed to be mean to
They
themselves.
are. It's the truth.
I mean, even
It
the
is.
mirror in the hotel room, it's like you're looking at your. Why would you ever look in that mirror? Why would you
so-
ever
it's so
look at
mean.
men? Don't look in those
It's
mirrors.
so mean.
I don't
Not
wanna
at
look
all.
those
I never
mirrors.
look at that mirror. What are you
Anyway,
talking about?
I'm
Michael's
just
talking
saying.
about it.
No, it's the
close
truth
up.
though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
but
about
I-
that
it's
all
on
the
his
time.
Instagram. So
Yeah, well,
I
it's
did see myself, and I
We're
was
all
like,
programmed to and again, our brain wants to go negative. What went wrong with our day? That's why before bed, what went right with my day? Versus how am I going to get through today? I have too much to do. Well, you're already screwed because your mindset sucks.
Yeah.
You know,
Who
I
do
get to
you-
do. I always say I get to do this too. Like if you say I have to do a podcast, I have to make a video, I have to go have dinner. You're like again, if you just shift that one word from I have to I get to.
Yeah.
This is all extra.
Yeah.
Everybody struggles with purpose. Our purpose is merely to exist. This is all just extra. This is all just fun. And once you realize that, life is so much easier. You don't need to read a book or go eat, pray, love. You know, this is way more than we ever needed to do.
Buckley,
This
I
is-
will be eating.
You can eat,
okay?
pray, love all you want.
I
but it's,
will
you know,
be
Pray,
eating.
love,
I won't be
also
praying with the love
podcast.
part at the end.
Eat, pray, love.
eat. Mine's
Eat,
just
pray,
eat.
purpose.
Alana has a question for you, Michael.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say I relate so much.
Thank
First
you.
of all, big fan. First time realizing what you're about, and I'm so excited.
Thank you.
That's such an important point. The difference between talking to someone as a friend or as a counselor, like that is such a hard and fine line. As someone who's into the list of things you just spouted out, basically, it is so rough. And then you're like, well, I'm not really helping them if I'm just doing the friend thing. But then I kind of maybe that's what they want, but they don't. Do they know that's what they want? I didn't say that to them. Do I gotta communicate that first? That whole thing. But my question to you is, you're talking about how like this previous time in your life when you were struggling, like when you went through the down, what was one thing or some of the things that helped you make that shift to turn into where you are now? Because I know we hear the things throughout our lives, we don't always plug them in until a certain point.
Yeah. It's so funny because I asked the question one more time. So
Okay.
what was the...
So what was a thing or some of the things, or if there was one thing that helped you shift from being in that down to like where you are now? to like getting better, getting up, being more conscious, choosing
Making
what
that
you're
choice.
feeling.
So
and all
I mean,
that.
I think it's like I think the thing was to allow it. I think when you force against, your suffering, you just double it. So I definitely just allowed it a little. Like I used to be, if I was on the couch and I was drinking a lot, or I was just watching Netflix too much and not moving forward with my life,
You didn't call that your best
my
life.
best life. I remember.
Well,
just,
now I have a lot to think about.
Well,
I
it's
was
called
very
research.
hard on myself. Like I was like, get up, and again, so
Yeah.
you get up and you go to the gym and you do little things, but you're not changing. We talked about this before. When you change the action without changing the thoughts and feelings, it's just putting a Band-Aid on it. So again, I could go to the gym and I could lose weight and I could drink less, but I was still thinking terrible thoughts about myself. So again, I gave myself compassion. I gave myself grace. I allowed myself to be a little bit of a mess, and I did stop drinking just for fun, which sounds weird, but
I get it.
I stopped drinking for fun, and I didn't know I'm not sober. I would take a sip of something right now. I don't identify as sober, but I realized that I was just.
Me neither. And we are strong. We are strong.
I was just drinking.
No one knows.
Don't
I
do
didn't
this,
want to
Elliot.
process my emotions. I wanted to drink them and not be present.
Yeah.
And I really feel like when I stopped drinking, I felt like I got out of a cult. I really felt like I had to drink. I was 20. I'm young. I was a homosexual, and all of our activities were around drinking. And so I felt like, oh, I don't have to drink. What do you mean I don't have to drink? So, I stopped drinking. I hired a life coach. My first life coach got me on track in 5 minutes. That's the thing. Like I was
Jesus.
just 5 minutes into life coaching, I was like, I'm good. I wanted more life coaching, but I felt like the way you felt.
had that moment.
You're
Yeah.
I'm giving you like, oh, I want to think and feel differently. I want to decide. I'm not going to wait to make more
Yeah.
money or lose weight or find, again, I'm
There's
gonna
nothing
decide
that's gonna
right
make
now.
me do
Nothing is
this.
going to wait.
Yeah.
Like I need, and quite frankly, I was sick of it. Like I was sick of being kind of like a mess. Like it was just like, I was just not wearing it well. And I was just, again, I didn't know what the next chapter was, but I was just ready for a next chapter, and I was ready to be wrong about myself. That's the other thing I love to think about.
Good quote.
I love
Good
to
quote.
be wrong about myself. I love to be wrong about other people. Like when you think you don't like someone,
I
then
like
you're
to
like,
be wrong about
I
other
love that I
people.
didn't
Yeah.
like you and now I do, or I love this conference. Maybe I didn't like it, now I do. For myself, there were many things I was wrong about myself, and I was just, I love that I was wrong about myself, and I did allow myself to see myself differently. Again, I live in Denver. I play flag football. I play
I
soccer.
love it.
Like I barely recognize this version of myself, but I'm so grateful that old me was not afraid to be like, why are you playing flag football? Because 5 years ago, I would have been like, why are you playing flag football? Like, what is that? And it's so lovely. And I love that I'm not afraid. I was so afraid for years. I was just like, I'm married and I live on Cape Cod and I make YouTube videos about celebrities, and I was on autopilot. And so I just kind of let my life unfold. And that's what we all do. 90% of us live unconsciously, and we just let our life happen. And then the moment we decide to live deliberately, it's like, oh, this is a very different experience I'm having, because I know how I think and feel about my life, and I know the action I'm going to take. And like I keep saying, this is just fun. Like this is fun. Not what I was waiting for. I was waiting for more money, or I was waiting for more invitations to things, or I was waiting to get over my divorce or whatever. Or
But
my
that
dead
would have never
dogs,
shifted your
yeah,
actual
well, I was
mental attitude
waiting,
of-
and time doesn't heal. Again, new thoughts heal. So again, you don't need to wait. You can get over shit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Once you decide, like, you want to get over shit, like, we hold on to things. I can think of people in my life who it's like we talk about the same thing for 20 years. I'm like, we're still talking about the High School Musical. We're still talking about your second husband. Like, this is not why you're such a mess. I promise. But I love that we're
can't
still
move forward.
I love that we're still talking about this. So that's anyway. Yeah. Anyway, that's the difference between a friend and a life coach. If you're a life coach, you're like, bitch. But when you're a friend, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
See,
fuck is wrong with this
honestly,
person?
I think
Yeah.
that's
I love
what.
it.
I think
It's
that's
so
what the
much-
Valleyfolk needs. I think the Valleyfolk needs a life coach.
Be a life coach.
Behind
you
the
can hire me.
scenes. Like,
I'll
can we
give you a
seriously-
group rate.
No. No, the
We're
Valley
fine.
folk needs a license, like
Clinical
AA psychologist with
No,
like
I
the ability
trust-
to prescribe deep medication. Like,
No, I trust Buckley. I think Buckley
I
has
prescribe
the tools.
joy and purpose.
There you go.
Look, I've got tattoos,
Yeah.
purpose and joy.
Buckley has what we need, and I think it truly is just this kind of motivation.
Hey,
that we
Patreons,
don't
do you want to
have.
donate for a life coach? Send money right now.
Dude,
That's
seriously.
your perk. And we'll do a live stream
Well, we
with a
actually
Google
would.
Hangout of me life
you're
coaching
joking.
you.
We would do that in a
In a
We'll do a
heartbeat.
Google Hangout
You would
once
do
so
it
long.
on
Well, that's
We're
what I
in.
was gonna say. Because I had two questions
Oh, I
really
love
quick.
it.
My first question was,
I love it so much.
have you done audience stuff with your life coach? Have you done like big audience work type stuff?
I mean, a couple hundred people. Like I've done things like that, and I want to get more into things like that. So if you're a college or you're a business and you want me to come,
Oh
I
my
would
God, are you
I'd love to
kidding
do
me?
speaking like that. Yeah, that's like I
Yes.
would love to do
Dude.
just motivational speaking.
Yes.
what
Yeah.
if we did a Valleyfolk tour where you opened for
Oh,
us?
I
Yes.
would do motivational speaking in comedy. Yeah.
And then
Honestly-
we do insane
Oh, that would be
things.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Let's just do a little
See, we're
US
manifesting
tour.
all this.
I'm
This is it.
living for it.
Imagine
It
that
needs
you
to
get
happen.
like. I mean, I wonder if it's even us opening for you because, but only because like that feeling of life coaching and you feel so invigorated. I'm sure
And
afterwards.
then they have to laugh at our fart
You
jokes
know?
afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. So my second question.
That's true.
Oh, man.
Whoa, your mic isn't even on at all. Let's hear.
Well,
it.
there we go.
There it is.
Oh
Now
my
it's back.
gosh, there we
Okay,
go.
we're
Okay.
back.
My second question was totally, can you work with us?
I'm ready.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I
Together or separate, anything you need.
Yeah,
Probably a
maybe
little bit of all of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Grio.
Yeah.
First of all, to her credit, Grace suggested this about 2 months ago.
Michael Buckley.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's so great.
Just have Michael Buckley come in and talk to
And
you.
life coach you guys.
Well,
You know,
again,
Patrick.
I hope you guys. I could just see the look on your face when I say one or two things. So I'm glad you're getting something out of this. So I
Of
mean,
course,
It's
I've
just
been
joy, man.
inspired.
Thank
I
you.
love
It's good
this.
food. It's
Thank
nice.
you.
It's
Thank
vegetables.
you.
When
It's
we,
wonderful.
appreciate
We
it.
eat shit.
Michael Buckley, what a fucking pleasure.
What a delight.
having you in our lives.
I have
Such
so
a-
many sound bites that are going to be roaming in my
Right,
head.
it's just
I'm in love.
and such an enlightening episode, I think, of the podcast, and I feel so good and overjoyed to have you here, and I hope maybe you should, if you're not busy, maybe you should join us for dinner tonight. Maybe
I would love to.
Yeah, if we can include him, if he can be included in our dinner, but
Yes, of course.
But yeah, so anyway, Valleycast, patreon.com/the Valleyfolk. Check us out. Michael Buckley, where can people find you?
HeyMichaelBuckley.com. And yeah, follow me on Instagram. Hey, that's where you get a lot of free life coaching.
Oh,
So,
that's true.
Hey, Michael
It's
Buckley.
so good, guys. Follow. Don't let him plug himself like it's a plug. Follow Michael on Instagram.com/HeyMichaelBuckley. It's real good, guys. It's real good.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
Grace Helbig and Elliot Morgan approve.
it. They watch
Sorry,
it almost
Grace
every
literally.
morning, I think.
Grace will go into her own bedroom going, "Sorry, I have to watch church," and then it's literally just her watching your Instagram story.
When are you gonna start something just called church, and it's just you
All the
giving
tax
it?
write-offs.
Oh fuck! Are you kidding me? I will be a religious man. I will embrace the religion that is Michael Buckley. Well, dude, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right,
And thank
appreciate
you for
you.
ClamorCon, and thank you
Thank
for
you for
having
being
us.
here,
and,
yes.
we love you so much, and let's
Love you
fucking
more.
party. Let's
do
party.
it. Let's party.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll take care. Bye.